Today, we're looking at a massive shift that is going to affect every single business owner and freelancer in the UK. The AI revolution is here, and it's completely changing the game for how your taxes are handled. Now, this isn't guesswork. What we're about to go through comes directly from the expert tax advisors at My Tax Accountant, and they've put this together to answer one crucial question. What changes are really coming to the UK tax system? And are you actually ready for 2026? Right, let's kick things off with a scenario that might hit a little close to home. Imagine this. You've had a great year, you've worked your socks off, and you decide to treat yourself to a new car. You're proud, right? So you post a picture online for your friends and family to see. Well, here's the thing. As this report from Accountancy Age confirms, HMRC's new AI systems are watching. And if that shiny new car on your feed doesn't quite seem to add up with the income you've declared, bang, an algorithm could instantly red flag your account for a much closer look. That's not science fiction. That's the reality of tax compliance right now. And this isn't just some small side project they're tinkering with. The move to digital is happening on an enormous scale, and it's happening fast. HMRC has set a very clear target. By 2030, a massive 90% of all its dealings with taxpayers like us will be digital. Just think what that really means. It's the end of the annual paper chase. We're talking real-time reporting and a constant flow of data straight from your bank and your software over to theirs. And the foundations for all of this? They're being laid right now, in 2026. So, to make sense of all this, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at HMRC's new AI watchdog. Then, we'll get into how this AI actually judges your business. After that, we'll cover the hidden dangers of all this automation. And then we'll get to the good stuff, your AI-ready strategy for 2026. And finally, where you can get some expert help. Okay, so first up, HMRC's new AI watchdog. Let's be really clear about this. The old days of random spot checks, a brown envelope landing on your doormat out of the blue, well, they're over. The new gatekeeper for tax compliance is an algorithm, and its main job is to automatically score you and your business for risk 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It never sleeps. What's so telling here is the contrast. On the left, you've got the old way. Slow, manual, and honestly, a lot of it was down to pure luck or random sampling. You could have gone for years without a single question. But on the right, that's the new world. AI systems are crunching millions of data points pretty much in real time. This means tax inquiries are no longer random. If you get a letter from HMRC in 2026, it's because a machine has already decided your data looks a bit off compared to thousands of others. The element of chance has pretty much vanished. And don't for a second think it's just machines you'll be dealing with. This is a point that catches so many people out. Did you know HMRC is hiring an extra 5,500 new human compliance officers? And their entire job is to investigate the cases that the AI flags up. This makes the whole system incredibly powerful. You've got the AI finding the needles in the haystack with ruthless efficiency, and a growing army of human experts ready to follow up. It's the perfect 1-2 punch of machine and human intelligence. Okay, let's move on. This bit is so important. How exactly does an AI judge your business? You have to remember it thinks differently to a human. It's not just looking at your final profit figure. It's looking for patterns, it's looking for consistency, and for any behavior that just doesn't fit the norm. It's basically a data detective. And this just shows you the sheer scale of it all. The AI, which is part of HMRC's Connect system, is like a digital spider spinning a web from all these different places. We're talking about your live bank feeds, sales data from platforms like Etsy or Deliveroo, your public social media, your company's house filings, VAT, payroll, even property records. It connects every single dot to build a complete digital picture of your financial life. You know that little bit of side hustle income from last year? The AI will see the payment come in from the platform, and it'll see it's not on your tax return. There really is no way to hide anymore. Let me give you a really simple, real-life example. Let's talk about a freelance videographer up in Manchester. He filed his return, profit looked fine, but his expenses were 47% of his total revenue. Now, HMRC's AI has access to data from the Office for National Statistics, and it knows the industry average for his line of work is between 34 and 38%. That single difference, that one pattern that didn't fit, was enough to trigger an automatic inquiry. He might have had a perfectly good reason. Maybe he bought a load of new kit that year, but the AI doesn't know that. It just sees a number that stands out. Now, this is where you can be smart and get ahead of the game. And here's a brilliant tip from the team at My Tax Accountant.
Whenever you log a big or an unusual expense in your software, just add a simple note, something like, new camera bought to replace damaged equipment. The AI will still flag the number, sure, but the human compliance officer who gets the case will read your note. You're giving them the context the machine can't see, and that one simple action can stop a stressful investigation before it even begins.
All right, this leads us to a really serious point: the hidden dangers of just relying on software. Because AI is powerful, but it's not perfect. It makes mistakes. So when the robot gets it wrong, who's legally responsible? You'll definitely want to hear this part. This quote comes from an actual UK court case, and the judge's ruling was crystal clear. Let me say it again, because it's that important. Whether the mistake comes from a human or a robot, you are still the one who is legally liable. HMRC will never, ever accept "my software made a mistake" as an excuse. The final responsibility, the signature on that return, is always yours. So that brings up a huge question, doesn't it? Could you, with confidence, spot a mistake if your software made one? They sometimes call these errors AI hallucinations, where the AI just invents something that looks correct, but it's completely wrong. It could be something subtle like miscategorizing an expense or applying the wrong VAT rate. Without an expert human eye looking over it, these things can go unnoticed for years and end up costing you an absolute fortune in back taxes and penalties. And this is exactly why we need to be honest about what that clever accounting software on your laptop can't do. It can't sit down and plan your corporation tax for the next 5 years. It can't advise you on the most tax-efficient way to take dividends. It gets totally confused by complex VAT schemes. It certainly can't represent you if you end up in a dispute with HMRC. And most importantly of all, it has no idea when it's wrong. It lacks judgment, and it lacks strategy. That's where the human expert comes in. Right, after all that doom and gloom, let's switch gears and talk about the solution. What's the right strategy for 2026? It's not about ditching technology. It's about creating a powerful partnership that combines the best of both worlds, the efficiency of the machine and the strategic wisdom of a human expert. And here it is, a simple 4-step approach that just works. Step 1. Automate the boring stuff. Use software for your day-to-day bookkeeping. Let the machine do the heavy lifting. Step 2, and this is the one people always miss, verify the AI's output. Take a look at the reports. Does it all make sense? Step 3, strategize with a professional. This is where your accountant adds the value that software never can. And finally, step 4, submit with total confidence, knowing an expert has given it the final green light. To help you with that verification step, the team at My Tax Accountant put together this really handy checklist. It's a quick health check for your books. Are you recording all your income every single month, including that side hustle? Is your expense ratio in the right ballpark for your industry? Are you avoiding using lots of round numbers like 500 pounds or $1,000? To an AI, that just looks like guesswork. And have you added notes for those bigger costs? Running through this list is a great way to avoid the common red flags that trigger an AI-led inquiry. And that brings us to our final section, getting expert help. Look, the tax world is changing faster than ever. Trying to navigate it all on your own? Well, it's a huge risk. It really does require a new kind of partnership between you, your tech, and your advisor. If you only remember one thing from today, please let it be this. AI is an incredibly powerful tool, but it is a terrible master. Use it for what it's good at, automating the repetitive stuff. But please, never let it replace the strategic thinking and professional judgment that only a qualified human expert can bring to the table. Your business really does depend on it. Now, before we finish, just the important legal bit. The information we've gone through today is for general guidance. It's not a substitute for proper professional advice that's tailored to you. You should never rely on it alone to make financial decisions. It's so important that you consult with a qualified professional, like the experts at My Tax Accountant, before you take any action. So the last question is this. With all of HMRC's digital changes, the new AI surveillance, and the hidden risks of automation, is your tax strategy truly ready for 2026? If there's even a tiny bit of doubt, the team at My Tax Accountant are ready to help. You can give them a call on 020-8570-8531 or send an email to info@mytaxaccountant.co.uk. And please do subscribe for more updates just like this. Thank you so much for your time.